Actually, it's break field ball. Okay, you're on.
You're on. What's kicking?
Are we all set over there?
We could, so like, if you want your but that's the group side, this is the right side.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We were supposed to have to brave the parking lot, but we didn't have to. You can thank Jerry for that. Jerry took care of it. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. We're good. All right. So, oh, and Allison's out in front.
Maybe Allison.
We are going to start. We're going to start tonight, as we often do, and as we always do with a song, and as we often do with the song Shalom Aleichem, continuing to show support for the Ukrainian people. So, page 627. It's also on 142, I think, but 627. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bohem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Baruch hu ni l'shalom malachei hashalom malachei elyon. Mi melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. Say Shem l'shalom, Malachei hashalom, Malachei elyon. Mi melech, Malachei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Peace be with you, O ministering angels, messengers of Most High, Majesty of majesties, Holy One of blessing. Now we turn back to page 125. 125. Sharon, can you come up and read that one for us? Please. I have a book. I don't know which book it is, and not sure what page it is, but read whatever you want. Try that one.
Okay. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide. Help me withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat abide.
Thank you. Okay. We now turn backwards again to page 120, 121. CJ, would you honor us with blessing and the candles? Please? You can say no. Jerry's going to do the Jerry's going to do the kiddush. Jerry's going to do the kiddush. Yeah, I figured. The old-fashioned way always works best. Maybe it doesn't. Wow. There we go.
Join me, please. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen.
Thank you, CJ. Jerry? I got a book. I got a cup. I got wine. What else could you ask for? We're on page 123.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu Shabbat kasha v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zicharon l'maaseh bereishi ki hu yom tehila l'mikrei kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim ki banu becharta v'otanu kidashta mikal hamim v'shabbat kadshecha v'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat.
And what is the occasion for this sponsoring of the Oneg?
Well, two things. One, I'm overdue. But I was thinking our good friend, most of us remember Jack Mihalovich.
Sure.
His yahrzeit at this time. Jack was he played the accordion. The accordion was him, because I always tell this story when I mention Jack. It was an all-in-one, which Jack was. He had the personality. He knew how to approach people. He knew how to say hello to somebody, not with a joke, but just like I remember one time out here, somebody came by and he just said hello to the gentleman, and the guy said hello and maybe another sentence or two, and Jack detected a European accent. And he knew how to just approach it. Do I detect their European accent from what country? And there they are, 5-10 minutes they were talking. Jack was just that kind of person. He knew how to approach everybody the way he was. Him and Barbara, you hope the mold hasn't been broken. You hope there's still more of the people like Jack out there. So I was just thinking of Jack when I decided to sponsor the Oneg.
That's good.
Yeah.
Any excuse will do to sponsor an Oneg, and we're glad you did. We turn now to page 128. And at the top of 128, Hine Mato, Hine ma tov v'humanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov v'humanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov, yadadai yadadadadadadai. Hine ma tov, hine ma tov, yadadai yadadadadadadai. Hine ma tov v'humanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov v'humanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Let me turn to page 133. Eric, would you like to come read on the bottom of 133?
A psalm. Sing to Adonai a new song, for God has worked wonders. God's right hand, God's holy arm has won God victory. Adonai has manifested God's victory, has displayed God's triumph in the sight of the nations. God was mindful of God's steadfast love and faithfulness towards the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth beheld the victory of our God. Everybody, raise a shout to Adonai. All the earth break into joyous songs of praise.
Thank you. Thank you. So now we turn to 138 and 139 for Lachadodi. And we're going to do verse 1, 2, 5, and 9. What a surprise. And remember that at the last verse, the 9th verse, we stand up and face the door and welcome the Shabbat bride. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, yishmianu el hamiyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, lechem u'tiferet v'li tehila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mechor habarecha, minosh mikedem en sucha, sof maaseh b'mashvat techila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, kiva urech kumi uri, shir daveri, kivod Adonai aliach negila. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha utzola. Tokemune am tzgula, lo ikala, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. That brings us to the Hatzi Kaddish on page 144. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, Be'alma divrachirutei v'yamlich malchutei, V'chayechom yomechom, Uvachei dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, Ubizman Bariv, Imaru, Amen. Yeheshme Rabba Mavorach, Me'olam, Me'ol, Me'ol Maya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitbar, V'yitraman, V'yitnaseh, V'yithadar, V'yithale, V'yithalal, Shemeda Kudasha Barihu, Leila Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tush Birchata V'nehemata, Dami Ram Be'alma, V'yimaru, Amen. And that brings us to the Baruch. So please rise and join me. We're on page 146. Lai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach. Hamevorach leolam vaed. Hamevorach. Hamevorach leolam vaed. You may be seated except for Josh. Please come up and read on page 149 at the bottom.
On the bottom of
The ninth.
the ninth.
The bottom of the ninth.
The score is tied.
This one right there.
It came from a conversation we had earlier. This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv haravim.
Thank you very much.
You want more?
You got more? There's always room for more. Now we're on page 150, Ahavat Olam. Please join me. Ahavat Olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Al Kein Adonai Eloheinu Mitzvoheinu u'chumeinu Ma'asiyach kechokecha V'nizmach b'divrei Toratecha u'lemitzvotecha le'olam ba'ed Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu uvachem negeh yomam b'layla v'ahavtacha al tasir mimenu b'kol amim Baruch atah Adonai Ohev amo Yisrael. This brings us to the Shema. And before the service started, Emma came up to me and requested to lead this. So Emma? I like that enthusiasm. It should be rewarded. You need the book?
Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad,
Thank you. Thank you very much. And now everyone can be seated except Genevieve. Thank you, Emma. You want to follow that? We're on page 154 at the top, Ve'ahavta.
We'll do it all together. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'kol levacha u'kol nefshecha u'kol medecha v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anohi mitzvaha hayom ala bevecha v'shinamtaham leveneha v'tibarta bam v'chitaha v'teha u'leftaha v'derek u'shoktaha u'kameha u'shartam leod v'deha v'yahu letotofo ben eneha u'vtavtam al v'tuso v'teha u'vishareha L'mahan tiskaru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yatem kodshim Elohehem Ani Adonai Elohehem Asher hotzeitem me'eretz Mitzrayim leot lehem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohem Adonai Elohem Amen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. Lee, can you come up and lead us in a reading on page 157? Yes, 157. The standing at the top.
Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot. This, wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, and that is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
Thank you. And we turn the page, and we marched through the Dead Sea, Red Sea, Sea of Reeds, depending upon your point of view, and got to the other side, and Miriam led all of the Israelites in this song. They weren't Israelites yet, all the Hebrews in this song. Mi chamocha boilim Adonai, mi chamocha boidor b'kodesh, nora tehilot, ho seifele, nora tehilot, ho seifele, ma'alechutecha ra'u banecha, bo kechayam lifnei Moshe Miriam, Zeli anu mi'amru Adonai yimloch le'olam ba'ed V'ne'emar kifad Adonai et Yaakov Ugalo me'achazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael. Allison, will your knees permit you to get this far? Great. Glad to hear it. We're on the bottom half of page 161.
Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haparei sukkot shalom, aleinu v'al kol amo Yisrael v'al Yerushalayim.
Thank you. Thank you. And that brings us to the central prayer, the main prayer, sometimes called the prayer, the Amidah. We start on page 164, and we continue on the even number pages, 166, 168, and 170, and then continue in English, or as your heart may prompt you, otherwise, up through page 180. So please rise. I'm sorry? He just turned them on just now? Interesting timing. Did you plan it that way? Okay. So we're starting on 164. Adonai. Adonai seftai tiftach. Adonai ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai. Adonai seftai tiftach. Anananananana ufi yagid, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha-El Hagadol Hagibor Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol V'zoher Hasdei Avot B'imachot U'mevid Ula B'nei B'neihem Leman Shemo B'Yahava Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Abraham, Mizerat Sarah, Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Hatah V'Shoshiach, Morid Hatah, Mechaye Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Berofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Uchahayim unemunato lishenei afar michamocha b'al gevurot umidoho mehelach melech memid umechaye umatzira meshua v'ne'eman ata v'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh v'kedoshim v'chol yom b'delula selach. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. We turn now to the bottom of page 180. Oh, say shalom bimromav, huya say shalom aleinu, be'akol Yisrael, v'maru, v'maru, amen. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, be'akol Yisrael, Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, bi'ako Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, bi'ako Yisrael. Yahaseh shalom, Yahaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, bi'ako Yisrael. We turn now to page 371 for the Mishabera. There are those in our lives who suffer from illness of body or illness of spirit. The Mishabera prayer, a prayer of healing and a prayer of hope, petitions God to grant healing to those in need. We have on this Shabbat Joyce Salinas, Svetlana Lozovic, Elaine Kaufman, Christina Knapp, Larry Leichman, Mary Gold, Rita Bregman, Susan Winsberg, Greg Rattenborg, Jean-Pierre Chalouche, Stacy Roberts Orr, Matthew Gross, Charlie Laufer, Linda Calderon, Gretchen Liplow, Jason Brooks, and Emma Jo Kennedy. Any other names? Okay, thank you. Misheberach avotenu mehor abraha leomotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mechor abraha liavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Hello? There we go. All right. The portion this week is Matot. It's the last portion in Numbers. Therefore, it's the highest number, I guess. And then we start into Deuteronomy, which is the summation of all what came before. So in this portion, Moses spoke to the heads of the tribes of the people of Israel, saying, "This is what the Lord has commanded. If a man vows a vow to the Lord or swears an oath to bind himself to a pledge, he shall not break his word. He shall do according to all that proceeds out of his mouth. And then it talks about vows in women. If a woman vows a vow to the Lord and binds herself to a pledge while within her father's house in her youth, and her father hears of her vow and her pledge by which she has bound herself and says nothing to her, then all her vows shall stand, and every pledge by which she has bound herself shall stand. But if her father opposes her on the day that he hears of it, no vow of hers, no pledge by which she has been bound herself shall stand, and the Lord will forgive her because her father opposed her. And it goes on with intricacies of that dynamic. And then it talks about the vengeance on Midian. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Avenge the people of Israel on the Midianites. Afterwards, you shall be gathered to your people." So Moses spoke to the people, saying, "Arm men from among you for the war, that they may go against the Midians to execute the Lord's vengeance on Midian." And this was done, and the spoils were divided among the people. And then it talks about Reuben and Gad settling in Gilead. Now the people of Reuben and the people of Gad had a very great number of livestock. Now remember, we're all the way through almost the beginning of Deuteronomy, so they're right on the edge, getting ready to go into the promised land, finally. Now the people of Reuben and the people of Gad had a very great number of livestock, and they saw the land of Jazer and the land of Gilead, and behold, the place was a place for livestock. So the people of Gad and the people of Reuben came to Moses and said to Moses and to Eleazar, "If we have found favor in your sight, let this land be given to your servants for a possession. Do not take us across the Jordan." But Moses said to the people of Gad and the people of Reuben, "Shall your brothers go to war while you sit here? Why will you discourage the heart of the people of Israel from going to war into the land that the Lord has given them?" Then they came near to him and they said, "We will build sheepfolds here for our livestock and cities for our little ones, but we will take up arms ready to go before the people of Israel until we have brought them into their place, and then our little ones shall live in the fortified cities because of the inhabitants of the land." Right. "We will not return to our homes until each of the people of Israel has gained his inheritance." So Moses gave the command concerning them to Eleazar the priest and to Joshua the son of Nun and to the heads of the fathers' houses of the tribes of the people of Israel. And Moses said to them, "If the people of Gad and the people of Reuben, every man who is armed to battle before the Lord, will pass with you over the Jordan, and the land shall be subdued before you, then you shall give them the land of Gilead for their possession." And Moses gave it to them, the people of Gad and the people of Reuben, and the land and its cities and its territories, and the cities and the land throughout the country. Now, strangely enough, I had this same portion last year. And Eric asked me if I went ahead, and I keep all my drushes. So Eric wanted to know if I cheated, and I thought about it. I did. But last year, I focused on how Reuben and Gad, after wandering the desert for 40 years, could learn to become agrarian and make that transition. We talked about the value of learning the ways of the indigenous people. That was last year. This year, I want to focus on Reuben and Gad and their conversation with Moses and the notion of being part of a group and also being an individual. And where do you owe your fealty? Which one comes first? Are they equal? I was reading several different drashes, and Rabbi Noach Shapiro came up with something that I thought made a lot of sense. He said, what is fascinating about many of the commentaries about this exchange between Reuben and Gad and Moses is the close and sensitive attention paid to the psychodynamics of the moment of confrontation itself. In his comment, Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch notices that the biblical text quoting the Reubenites and the Gadites making their case interrupts itself by saying, "they said," and then continues where it left off. For Hirsch, this literary anomaly suggests that the case makers were nervous and paused in the middle of their plea in serving, and generally were greedy. These discussions about the exchange between Moses and the tribesmen raise some tough questions about the overall message of our tradition. When should we advocate for ourselves as individuals? When should we see ourselves as part of a grander, broader, more shared enterprise? In formulating our own identities as individuals of action and consequence within the Jewish people, how do we figure out in what direction to throw our limited energy and resources? When should we sublimate personal considerations in deference to the collective good? And every one of us has gone through this more than many times, just part of your family. And do you choose what the family wants to do, or what's good for the family, or what you want to do, what's good for you? And it's not easy. The Reubenites and the Gadites answer, Moses' initial angry response to the contrary, appears to be, fulfill your collective responsibilities first, and then do for yourself and your family. After Moses reprimands them, they say they intend to see their Israelite brothers and sisters safely ensconced in the land of Israel first, and then they will return to the other side of the Jordan and settle. We are called upon to struggle with similar questions of priorities on a daily basis. There's always any number of excellent reasons not to give as much tzedakah as we want, or as we did last year, or we would like to necessarily. All of us have expenses that relate to important personal and family needs, which only grow in number and weight over time. And in an age where it is often very little sense of true obligation, even to our own communities, our tradition demands from us parallel contemplation of collective and personal consequences of all of our actions. We are required to consider all the angles, to make choices that don't always allow all our individual needs to be met before venturing out to help others. In our lives, filled with complex equations of personal, familial, and national benefit, and in a larger society which often appears to celebrate, affirm, and even sanctify the values of narrow self-aggrandizement, Judaism obligates us at a bare minimum to pause and engage seriously with the question of how we must meet our broader obligations to each other, even as we reasonably advocate for our own prosperity and well-being. It turns out that Hillel's three familiar mellifluous questions plunge right into the heart of one of the starkest challenges to our ability to live individually righteous lives in the loving and obligating context of community. If I'm not for myself, who will be for me? If I am only for myself, what am I? If not now, when? Shabbat Shalom.
But they also said they were leaving their families behind, right?
That was to make sure they go back. Yeah, the families weren't fighting the war. They were going to war. That's what happens. I apologize. Who is the board rep tonight? Oh, CJ, welcome back.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for coming, and thank you for coming out there in the world. These are the announcements for Temple Israel of Alameda for Friday, July 25. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Skip, for leading tonight's service, and to Allison for working the greeters table. And thank you to Eric for the electronics here, and for setting up the streaming, whomever set up the streaming. Did you set up the streaming for tonight? Thank you for that. And for our YouTube channel and Facebook page. Tonight's Oneg is hosted by Jerry Rabinowitz. Thank you, Jerry. In memory of, say the name again, please. Jack Mihalovich. And because he was due to sponsor an Oneg. Hint, hint, sponsoring Onegs. I hope you didn't have to park too, oh, wait, no, well, we're wiping out the, I hope you didn't have to park too far away, because the parking lot was not under construction. Tomorrow morning at 9:30, there will be a lay-led Torah study held via Zoom, so you don't have to worry about parking. Contact Eric Strigling if you'd like the link to participate. Dave's Swing Time Big Band will have their monthly concert in the social hall on Monday night, July 28 at 7:30 p.m. Bring friends and family for an enjoyable evening of music and dancing. There's a suggested donation of $5 per person at the door. If you haven't already done so, now is the time to renew your membership to Temple Israel of Alameda. Pledge forms are on the greeters table for those of you present in the lobby, and also you can do it through the website. The Board of Directors will meet via Zoom next Thursday on July 31 at 7 p.m. If you wish to bring up a topic, make sure to contact our president, Kimberly, right away so that it can be worked into the agenda. There will be no Shabbat service on Friday, August 1st. Looking ahead, the Social Justice Committee will hold a discussion via Zoom on Tuesday, August 26th at 7 p.m. The presentation will be by me. It will be on the Supreme Court decisions of late. The annual temple cleanup will be on Sunday, August 17th, in advance of the High Holy Days, which begin with Selichot service on September 13 at 7 p.m. Guidelines for food to bring to the Rosh Hashanah Oneg on Monday after services are on the greeters table in the lobby. They're also at the website. Since Yom Kippur is on Thursday, October 2nd, there will be no Shabbat evening service at the temple on Friday night, October 3. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, CJ. You got anything else they want to add? Jerry?
Probably, next week we're not having services, but the following week I'll be leaving services.
And then the parking lot will be messed up.
We don't want to miss 2 weeks. So
There you go. Oh, well, it was a pleasant surprise that it wasn't all messed up. All right, that brings us to page 586, the Elenu. And if anyone is observing a yard site this evening, please come up and help us open the ark. The more the merrier.
You said 586.
We're on page 586 and we rise when they open the ark. Looked like fun, so you thought you'd join them? It looked like fun, so you thought you'd join?
Well, I missed my nephew.
Okay. Please rise. We're on page 586. Shelo sam kelkeni kaken, begor aleinu, kekol haolam. Anachnu korim, u'mishacharim Elohim, lifnei melech malkei hamakim, hakadosh baruch. Ne'emar, Adonai, Melech HaKol Haaretz, Hayom Hahu, Yeh Adonai Echad, U'Shemo Ushemo Echad. Please be seated. When I die, give what is left of me away. Give it away to children and old men who wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands, by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We join our families in remembering the loved ones whom we have lost recently and at this time in years past. And may their memories be for an eternal blessing. Is anybody for Shiva for the first 7 days? For Shloshim, our heartfelt condolences go to the families in our congregation who are grieving the passing of their loved ones in the last 30 days. We have Bert Litvak. Any others? Okay. We extend our condolences to the families in our congregation who are grieving the passing of those loved ones in the last year. Brian James Newberg, Scarlett Lehman, Audrey Hyman, Gabriel Fettig, Adeline Speaker, Arona Oring, Arlen Gulko, Michael Hyman, Stella Campbell, Morley Helfand, Morton Barak, Saul Allen Saad, Joel Cohen, Ed Winsberg. Any other names from the last year? Okay. And our hearts join with those who are mourning the loss of loved ones who passed in this season in years past. Paul Einhorn, Diana Garfinkel, Henry Kern, Mamie Beck Dutton, Bill Copeland, Dorothy Jacobs, Florence Totman, Herbert Lewin, Henrietta Garfinkel, Nelson Harris Jr., Bertha Jacobs, David Rosenzweig, Marta Hedra Rosenthal. Any other names?
Joyce Mongemet. John
May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all those who are bereaved. And now join me. Please rise and join me in the life-affirming words of the Kaddish on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrahu te v'imlich malchute, b'chaye chon v'yom echon b'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uzman karib b'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'alam almaya, Yit barak v'yishtabak v'yit ba'ar v'yit raman v'yit naseh, v'yit hadar v'yit halei v'yit halal, shemei dekudashah barichu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tush b'chata b'nehemata, dam yiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shlamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mramav, uyasei shalom, aleinu v'akol Yisrael v'imru amen. Please be seated. And now we turn to page 6 2:6 for Ein Kelohenu. And as as Cantor Pam used to call it, the beer hall version. Ein Kelohenu, Ein Kadonenu, Ein Kimalkenu, Ein Kamoshienu, Mi Elohenu, Mi Kadonenu, Mi Kimalkenu, Mi Kamoshienu. Noted Eloheinu, noted Adonenu, noted El Malkeinu, noted Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu. Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. You are our God. You are our eternal one. You are our ruler. You are our redeemer. Shabbat Shalom. Join us in the social hall to see what, I know that CJ said Jerry did it, but we all really know Nadi did it. So let's go see what she's got in store for us.